Look at this little owl. Her little gold feet. How cute. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here and talk about like something that I noticed like in the hip hop thing, because I like, this will be my testimony for like secular music, for like hip hop music, stuff like that, because I used to like deeply heavily into the hip hop music scene and all this and that. But and okay, so it's crazy because like everything that you liked in the world, when you come to Jesus, you have to completely get rid of it, right? And so like this is my testimony. So when I was in the drug life and everything, I would hang out with people and we would, you play your best songs and stuff. And so like I built my playlist, and like if I heard something and I was hanging out with somebody new, I would like put it onto my own playlist, and just gathering like all these good hip hop songs, and it's all glorifying, the bad life, all of these evil things and stuff and whatever. And so it was really crazy because whenever I found Jesus, one of the first things that he convicted me about was my music. And it was so crazy because I remember being in my room and like I just felt Jesus come upon me, and it was like instant conviction type of stuff. And it was like I went to my playlist and I deleted everything. There was a small voice inside of my head that was like, what if like I want to go back and like I won't remember like these good songs. Like there's a lot of good songs, but like the good ones that you want to keep on there, that are like your go-tos and stuff. And that little thought crossed my mind for like a split second, but I went to my iTunes playlist and I just deleted everything. And you have to replace everything. You have to turn everything over to like, Jesus music. I see some people doing the hip hop Jesus stuff, and I feel like that is kind of like a better way. It's a far cry from listening to that stuff, right? And then I think like I fell off and got into like the secular music again. But once again, the Spirit of God came upon me and it broke it off, and I let go of the secular music. Like I no longer have a playlist. I no longer care to download music, I really came away from like listening to that stuff. Sometimes I catch myself, but then I get conviction, just like anybody else. Like, whenever you're trying to like in this new golden era that we're moving into, we cannot 3:20, the God of Ephesians 3:20 on the clock, but we cannot carry that stuff into our new life. Like, okay, I just made the video of me and my kids. We did some fireworks out in the back, and my body looks so bad. Like, my body looks so bad, and I have these 10-pound weights that I've been doing. I guess they're called squat thrust, and I've been like holding them up and squatting down, or like I'll squat down, then I'll lift them up, squat down, stand up, lift them up, like that. And I'm seeing a little bit of results, but like, and I picked up my, like, I want to just dedicate one day to like all working out, just dedicate one day, just stay working out. And my mid section, I've had 5 kids, 1 set of twins. And after I had my set of twins, I had diastasis recti, where like your muscles, like it splits. And so like your stomach like is like laid open basically. And ever since I've had them, I have never like truly focused on like, like tightening up my stomach. And I went through a little like 3-month period where I was walking on a treadmill and trying to do what I could, but you have to really like lock in, and go hard for yourself and stuff. But and so you can help other people. But yeah, so that was my thing. But the reason why I wanted to come on here is because I was listening to NBA YoungBoy and Rod Wave, and one thing I realized is like the reason why that music keeps you stuck in your trauma and it keeps you, you know, it's good to listen to because it's relatable, of course, but then you don't want to familiarize your trauma and your pain. You know what I mean? Like whenever you come into Christianity, you can't label yourself a narcissist survivor. You can't label yourself, oh, I'm a sexual abuse survivor. I mean, yeah, that is a part of your testimony, and I'm not saying dumb it down. I'm not saying that, but you don't label yourself as a oh, I'm schizophrenia, or I'm bipolar type 2, or oh, I'm full of anxiety, because you're speaking that over yourself. You know what I mean? And but these lyrics on these songs are just like, yeah, I'm traumatized, and I'm traumatized. Like, you're gonna be traumatized. You're gonna continue carrying that around if you keep chanting and putting that spell over yourself like that, you know. It sounds good, like I said, but like whenever you come to Christ, you have to say, I declare and decree, I'm a child of God. I'm a child of God. I'm not traumatized. I'm not torn and broken. I'm not battered and beaten. I'm not broken down where I can't get back up. I'm more than a conqueror through Christ. I'm a child of God. I'm seated in heavenly places. I am a citizen of heaven. You know, that's the type of stuff you want to be speaking over your life. So I think that's why it's important to know and understand like what you're listening to and what you're speaking over yourself, you know. And so I was listening to it just because he dropped it like 8 days ago, and then I seen that that Rod Wave stuff was like came out like 2 weeks ago or something. But I don't get into all that. Like, once again, I don't you know, do the whole playlist and, you know, vibing out and all that stuff. I don't do that anymore. I mean, I do like barely, though, not like I used to. It's not like every day wake up blaring the hip hop through the house and lighting up, and no, we don't do that around here. But yeah, so, you know, like it does matter what you say over yourself and the music you're listening to. But that's all I got. Bye.